were good all day. You had your coffee, you had your salad, you felt like you were proud of yourself for trying to having such a great day. But then nighttime comes, house is finally quiet, you finally get to sit down and relax. You end up going into the kitchen, opening up the pantry or the fridge. You're not even really that hungry, but you still somehow end up eating half of the bag, eating the whole pint of ice cream without even realizing that that's what you were doing. Then you're just standing there wondering what's wrong with you. And the same line pops up into your brain: I'll start over tomorrow. Whatever, it's fine. I'm just gonna have to restart tomorrow. What's wrong with me? And I need you to really open up your ears and hear when I say this. The nighttime, that's not where your willpower or your discipline failed you. The nighttime is where your day just collected up. It's a bill. Everything you did to be good all day, the skipping of meals or holding off until XYZ, those little things, every one of those was piling up. It was a withdrawal, and your body doesn't just forget that it happened. It comes back to collect it, and it's going to come back at nighttime. It's going to come back when your guard is finally down and when those thoughts are easier to go through with them. So you can stop trying to out-discipline your 9 p.m. You're not going to win that fight, because that fight was already decided hours earlier. It's not a willpower problem at night. It's a setup problem during the day that fails at night. So in this video, I'm going to go through everything, and hopefully you leave this video already knowing what to do right here, right now, so that doesn't keep happening anymore. So let me break down what's actually happening, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the kind of thing it is. So number one, you're running on empty. Sometimes it may not feel like it, because women are strong. You're strong as hell. But if you're under eating all day, your body isn't being dramatic at night. It's being smart. It's trying to get back what you didn't give it. And that's just how your biology works. Okay, it's doing its job. Can't get mad at it. Number two, the more you clamp down, the harder the swing. So restriction and binging, those two things aren't really the opposite. They're a loop. They feed each other. The tighter you hold during the day, the bigger at night that bounce is going to be. So if you've been thinking fix is going to hold even tighter, that's the thing making it worse. Number three, decision fatigue. You've been making good calls all day. You're saying no to this, you're portioning that, you're resisting things. Your brain has been on a budget, and by 9 p.m. it's spent. You're not weak at night. You're just kind of out of it. You're tired. And then number four, the sneaky one. Half the time you're not even hungry. You know that. You're just bored. The day was go, 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 and now you're finally relaxing. Your hand just wants to grab something, and it's going to do the easiest thing to do and grab for whatever is sitting right there, easy to grab, like those M&Ms on the counter or coffee table. So here is the shift. This is the part that I need you to stay with me, because this is where we start changing things. Most women ask, what do I need to cut so that nighttime stops? And that is the wrong question. Okay, the question that you should be asking is what you should add. Asking what you should remove is a trap, because every time you cut more, you feel more restricted, and we just covered what restriction does, right? So it swings things back. So flip it. Don't ask what to take away. Ask, what can I add to my day so that my nights get easier? Adding is easier than subtracting things throughout the day. It's always going to be. And it doesn't trip the restriction wire, that I like to call it. I'm the kind of person that if you tell me not to do something, I'm going to do it. So what do? You add things. You add enough actual food during the day that you show up to the night fed. You don't feel hungry instead of starving. Eat real meals. Have a good amount of food on your plate. Eat your whole foods. So at 9 p.m., you're not working with an empty tank. You add that treat on purpose. So that's the second advice. Add something sweet on purpose. If you love something sweet after dinner, plan it. Have it. Overnight oats, or maybe it's a fruit, whatever. Maybe it's half a pint of ice cream. Whatever it is, plan for it. It's going to be sitting there waiting for you, to easy to grab and go. And you're going to be on the plan, so you're not going to feel like shit. Because when the night isn't your only release valve, it stops carrying all that pressure. My next advice is set up your kitchen so the easy grab is the good grab. We reach for whatever is easiest. We take the path of least resistance. That's just how it works. So make the easy thing the better thing. Something that's already washed and prepped. I love berries, maybe grapes, sitting there in the fridge, ready for you to open up. Oh, boom, I'll grab that instead of the pint of ice cream. Cold water, something that you actually like to drink in the fridge. Easy to go. Maybe your favorite cup. If you like drinking from a straw, that helps. Drink more water. Small things, they add up. Here's a big thing. The stuff that you know that you can't stop at one bite, don't have it. You don't have to ban it. Just don't leave it easy on the island table in a bowl staring at you every time you go in the kitchen. Put it in the back shelf, put it on the counter in the very top part of the cabinet. You're not depriving yourself by doing this. I feel like you're being smart about it. You're not just leaving it there as a trap, making you feel like you're being baited. And oh, one more. Stop grazing the entire time you cook. Eat the whole meal. Eat before you cook. If you like to graze while you're cooking, then eat before you cook. Because you end up eating a whole meal before you eat the meal, and then you eat the meal, then you're still not satisfied because you never actually sat down and registered that you ate anything, because you're eating while you were moving, and then you ate the whole meal, and now you overate. Sit and eat like it counts. Eat as a meal. Okay, now zoom in. Let me be real with you about something, because I'm not going to be out here lying to you. You've probably been lied to about this before. If your goal is fat loss, at some point you do have to be in a deficit, right? That's just how it works. But here's a part that I feel like a lot of people get wrong. A deficit is not the same thing as starving yourself. You don't starve yourself all day, because that's how you're going to make it so your body stages a revolt towards you at 9 p.m. You can be in a deficit and still be fed, still be satisfied. That is the whole trick. And it's the difference between a deficit that works and one that wrecks you every single time, that leaves you every couple weeks saying that you're going to start over. And this is where some of those lower calorie swaps actually earn their spot, right? So not as your whole life kind of thing, not every day maybe, but or multiple times a day, especially not, but every now and then they're a diet saver. Sugar-free Jell-O, baby carrots, sugar-free whipped cream, berries, things that hit your craving without having that actual thing that you're craving. So just something to munch on that you want to grab, that is easy, it's right there, and be creative with it. Put some salt and pepper and vinegar on baby carrots, pretend it's chips. But as long as you're sticking to your deficit, you're doing good, you're not blowing it, you have a plan for yourself, that's not restriction. That's just setting your future self up to win. And then real quick, if you're sitting here going, actually need help building this into my day and not just kind of freeballing it, that's literally what I do with my one-on-one clients. But I do take them in limited waves, and the waitlist is the only way in. So that's the link down in the description. If we're going to chat, see if it's a good fit. If so, we'll go to the next step. If not, I'll recommend you to the next step as well. But let's get back to it. So, and I'm going to be real with you. I am talking from experience because I lived this. I used to go absolutely crazy at night. I would binge eat, and it was because I was so restricted all day. I'd be so good. I'd tell myself one little handful of cereal. I loved granola and chocolate chips. I loved putting them in my hand and then eating it. And I could never just do one handful, right? I couldn't stop at one. It would be countless numbers. I would say it would be just one or two, and then you know the drill. And I just sit there going, what's wrong with me? There were some nights where I cried because I literally almost ate the whole bag because I could not control myself. And here's what I feel like actually changed. It wasn't one day to the next. It was slow. It was me restricting less. It was me adding back the things that I actually loved, so I didn't feel like a prisoner. And it was me just being honest about how I personally work. I hate feeling restricted. The moment somebody tells me, don't do it, I want to do it. And maybe it's something I had to work on. But you're going to learn things about yourself. And with certain foods, for me, just a little wasn't really on the table, at least not for that period or that season in my life. And that was just data. Some nights I decided to not start that fight at all. And the next morning I'd feel proud because I wasn't battling eating or not eating. I just decided I wasn't going to, and I didn't. And I woke up feeling good because I didn't. I told myself, I'm really big on keeping your word to yourself. So I told myself I wasn't going to do the thing, whatever it was, and I didn't. You keep a promise to yourself. You feel it. That's real. And I'm not going to pretend that it isn't. So it helped me. But the bigger thing beneath that, it wasn't the pride thing. It was just my body actually felt good. My digestion felt better. I was sleeping better. I was less stressed about it. I woke up feeling more clear instead of foggy and guilty and bloated. And those things stacked into the same thing. Me thinking, I can do this. I can trust myself. And it gave me a boost of motivation. And that feeling did more for me than any other amount of motivation did, right? So, because I stuck to my word. And then the next night would be a little bit easier. And then one after that would be a little bit easier. I used to smoke weed, and when I did, I would get the munchies. And that was a whole other beast, right? It was way harder to talk myself down. And for the longest time, I acted like that was just happening to me. I just still wanted to get high, so I would still smoke, and I would know I'm going to eventually have the munchies. And it was complete out of my control. The thing making it harder was that I was choosing to do that, so I stopped. That wasn't the only reason that I stopped smoking, obviously, but it just helped more than I expected in a lot of different areas. And some nights I'd just pass out on the couch and then wake up to go to bed, but I would walk into the kitchen to turn off the lights, and what would I do? Open the fridge, pantry, boom, binge eat a little bit more, and I would just feel like shit. So I get how that feels. And this is from years ago. So I've definitely moved past it, and I can tell you that it does get better. You do feel more in control, and time heals, but you have to put in the work. I was on autopilot, and then things started getting better when I started to actually introduce changes throughout the day that made me feel more in control. Nighttime came, and it made it easier to say no because I did all those things that I was doing. I drank more water, I ate healthier meals, I ate meals that made me feel more full, I had those easy to grab little snacks that are low calorie, things that made that nighttime feel more like I got this instead of dreadful. And then when I said no, I didn't eat those certain things that I knew I wouldn't be able to control myself. That morning of, I felt great. I felt powerful, I felt in control and proud, and that made the next day easier. So those things, you just build little wins, and that helps you over time. And there's still nights that I let a little bit in, of course, but they aren't a wreck. Definitely not as close as how they used to be, because now I'd connected the dots. I remembered how good the other way felt. And I didn't want to trade that for just a handful of something that I wasn't even hungry for. And that moment of delaying that satisfaction and really being in tune with that really helps you move forward. And it takes practice. You know, when you ask God for patience, He's not going to give you patience on a silver platter. He's going to give you opportunities to practice your patience. That's what we're doing here. We're giving opportunities to practice that discipline. And if the nighttime thing feels way bigger than just, these simple things that I gave you, like the kitchen setup, if it feels scary, if it feels like something you genuinely can't talk yourself through no matter what, that may not be just a willpower thing. It may be something deeper. It may be something that you have to actually get more support with. And there's no shame in that at all. Knowing the difference is its own kind of strength. So don't be ashamed of needing help. So here's where I leave you. You don't need another Monday. You don't need another month. You don't need a fresh start. You don't need a clean slate. You don't need a whole new you. You've restarted 100 times. That's not the thing. What you need is a day that sets you up instead of selling you out and making you restart every time. It's the small stuff. It's the small stuff, you guys. The water, the real meals, the treat on purpose, the planned free meals, the prepped grab and go that's in front of your fridge. None of it looks impressive. None of it is going to go viral because nobody's going to do the small things. But the small things works. It stacks up. And one day you're standing in your kitchen at 9 p.m. and you realize you're not scared of yourself anymore. You trust what you're going to do. That's huge. I did not think I was going to feel that. You don't become a different person. You become someone you can finally trust. And that feels great. That's the whole game plan. Keep going. And if this video was helpful, Leave a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe and follow, comment. Let me know a little bit of your story. Let me know what kind of videos that you would like, what questions you have, how can I help, because that's my goal. And I'll see you in the next one.